Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Real quick guys, I'm going to play you a clip from one of my videos from January 1st, not that long ago. Here it is. This fractal from back here, down here, retracing in this zone. Okay, and this is exactly what we're doing here, right here. We're retracing right over here before a potential pop. Okay, and that pop was seen, again, let me just draw it out for you guys. That pop was seen here. Okay, and that is effectively a 125% increase. Okay, so originally I made that video because the question at that time was, will XRP go to 42 cents in January 2020? Guys, if you want to watch the entire video, I will link it again up here. Okay, it is this video here. Could XRP pop for some quick profits to 43 cents in January 2020? And you know what? 21 hours ago, somebody here from A&B Crypto wrote an article and predicted that as well. Well, look where we are, guys. I woke up this morning and we were at about 21 cents. We went as high as 0.213 cents just over the last 3 hours. Okay, we started here at 19.6.196, and over 3 hours, XRP rose quite a bit to just over 21 cents. And guys, is this an altcoin rally? Like the one that article was hinting to in that January 1st video that I did. Bitcoin right now is up 1.36%, guys, but look at everything else. Ethereum, 3.96, XRP 7.52, Bitcoin Cash 5.78. We got Litecoin up 4.27, EOS 3.98, Binance Coin 3.87, Bitcoin SV 6.34, Monero up 6.72, Stellar up 6.30. I think you guys get my point. Bitcoin is the one that is making the least amount of gains, and guys, this is rare. This is what they call an altcoin rally to some degree. Now, we'll see how it transpires. I mean, this is just the beginning. It could just come crashing back down, in which case maybe we're getting excited for nothing. But this is the key, guys. Bitcoin dominance percentage is creeping down. And let's go to cbtc.d. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Look at that. So Bitcoin dominance coming crashing down over the last few hours. And will it go lower? Will we see Bitcoin dominance go lower in an attempt for altcoins to rise in value? Very interesting question. So let's bring XRP back here on the hourly. Now let's put it on the daily here, just to give you guys a sense of where we're at. So this is XRP on the daily. Now we got to reach, my thought is we've got to reach this zone up here. So, you know, the top of this zone, I'm going to mark it, I'm going to delineate it as this range here. Tops of wicks to bottoms of tails, and that would bring us to around 22.4 to roughly 23.2, so within that range there. And then I will do the same thing up here. Okay, so that's the next level, and then we got to kind of see it go roughly in and around here. Okay, so within this zone here, so let's call it 23 cents first. We got to pierce through that. Then the next level would be in and around 30 cents, give or take, between 29 and 31.5. So that's where we're at right now. Next stop after that would be the 43. So somewhere in around here, if I were to draw the zone, this is a pretty wide one, but let's call it 37 to somewhere up top here, 50. Okay, and that's where we last were back in the last summer. Okay, so if you take the middle point of this, it brings us to approximately right in around here. That's about 43 cents, somewhere in the middle. Okay, so there you go, guys. 21 cents for XRP right now. I got to say, it was a pleasant surprise to see XRP over that 20 cent mark again. I'm so glad I bought XRP sub 20 cents. And this is one of the reasons why we are going to see movement like this for the next little while before we see some real bullish momentum kick in. So, you know, if we can take some profits in the meantime, why not, right? I saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. China's central bank said it will continue with its research and development into the creation of a sovereign digital currency in 2020. So China's sovereign digital currency progressing well, central bank says, but still no launch date. So they are continuing to work on it, but it doesn't seem like they have a launch date yet, or at least they're not letting the world know when they will be launching. In a summary of its annual work conference held last week, the People's Bank of China, the PBOC, said it made smooth progress on the issue in 2019. The PBOC was one of the first central banks to promote the idea of a digital sovereign currency, partly because Beijing regards cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a threat to financial security and other digital currencies like Facebook's Libra as a challenge to its capital account controls. When the bank's Digital Currency Research Institute stepped up its rhetoric on the issue last year after plans for Libra's launch were announced in June, there was speculation that a Chinese sovereign currency could arrive as early as November. Well, we didn't see it in November. We're still waiting for it. Of course, these things take time, and governments all around the world are making sure they roll this out properly. And they're saying here that the Chinese central bank is not alone in the world in considering how to best adapt to digital currencies. Of course, we talked about Sweden's Riksbank and how last month they said it had awarded a one-year contract to professional services firm Accenture to build a pilot platform for a new digital currency called the e-krona, with the aim of broadening the central bank's understanding of the technological possibilities. So again, central bank coins in the news. We know this is going to be big for this year, 2020. So how is this all going to roll out? I'm sure for some things we'll be surprised, and for other things we won't be surprised at all, because we'll be shaking our heads and be like, yeah, of course government's going to do it that way. I don't know. I don't have an example that I'm thinking of at the moment, but you know how some of those things happen, right? Sometimes we have these grand ideas of how, wow, this could be really great for the world, and then the government tends to fall short on what we in our heads think would be a great idea. They tend to fall short on delivery. So, not ragging on any particular government for any particular issue, but I find that generally as a whole, that's what I tend to see, at least for certain issues, not regarding currency or finance or anything like that, just in general. We'll see, though. The government could surprise us, and of course, every government is going to do something different. The one thing we have to look forward to is that we are moving forward, and this is, of course, the direction we want to go in. I saw this from the Daily Hodl. Analyst says XRP has moonshot potential, guys. Warns the third largest cryptocurrency is facing one major hurdle. So Matty Greenspan, this is what he's expanding on what he said earlier a couple of days ago about Ripple and XRP. Portfolio manager and crypto influencer Matty Greenspan is expanding on his outlook for Ripple and XRP. Greenspan recently said he thinks Ripple's monthly sales of XRP hurt the digital assets price in 2019. In his latest letter to investors, Greenspan says he thinks Ripple's ODL, which is designed to give enterprises a way to utilize XRP for cross-border payments, could have a huge impact on the price of XRP if it gains widespread adoption. Well, of course it will have a huge impact on price, because there will be more demand for XRP, and therefore when we see more demand, less supply, price goes up because more people want it, so more people are willing to pay a premium for it. In this case, more people will need it, not want it, but need it. So they will have no other choice but to pay the premium for XRP. Although he thinks Ripple has a real chance of pulling that off, he cautions that the odds of ODL's success remain stacked against the San Francisco startup. So he does put in a caveat here. He says, yes, we can see XRP gaining traction, and they do have first mover advantage in this space. However, it does seem more likely that a coin created by banks for banks would be favorable to most large financial institutions. As I see it, investing in XRP is a moonshot. There is a real chance that Ripple accomplishes their goal of becoming the backbone of global settlements. If they do, there's a fairly good chance that XRP will rise in value. So he's saying on the one hand, XRP could really work if it gets the adoption. But he says on the other hand, bankers are likely to use their own coins. We've talked about this in previous videos. Bankers are going to use their banking coins in and amongst their own banking institutions. Well, could you realistically see Bank of America wanting to hold JP Morgan's JPM coin, for example? Why would competing banks want to hold their competitors' coins just to do friendly business? I don't see that as a reality, and I think that once all these bankers are going to realize that, okay, we'll create all our own coins, and then, because banks do business with each other all the time, and then they're kind of trading them back and forth, and they're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, if we only do 15% of our business with this bank, but 80% of our business with this bank, and we have all of this bank's coin, is it going to be useful for us, or can we just give this bank's coin to bank A's coin to bank B, since we do more business with bank B? It gets confusing, and I don't necessarily see the advantage to having so many coins. And Brad Garlinghouse has said this in the past, right? There's a redundancy issue with this. If everybody uses XRP, everybody will transact with the same coin. And since XRP is interoperable, there's not going to be a problem when transacting in all those particular circumstances. So I see XRP as being the standard just because it makes the most sense, and banks don't have to do the work. All they have to do is sign up for RippleNet, plug in, and that's that. So Matty Greenspan finalizes his quote by saying, however, there's an even greater chance that they don't, that some competitor grabs their win, or that CBDs become widespread and efficient enough that they don't need a middleman, which is why we need to always be cautious when dealing in high-risk assets. So again, he's saying, you know, it's still risky at this point in time. I don't know how many XRP videos Matty Greenspan watches and how much research Matty Greenspan has done. I respect the guy, I certainly do. He's got a lot of interesting points that he makes. And so respectfully, I decide to disagree with his statement here. You know, there is so much pointing to the fact that Ripple is already on the move and already, they're already in cozy with governments, central banks, and financial institutions, not just in the USA, but all over the world. Months and months and months of research have pointed us in these directions, have pointed us to the partnerships, right? The proof is in the partnerships. You guys remember that one? So to say that Ripple has the odds stacked against them, I think is a misnomer. I don't think they have the odds stacked against them. I definitely think the odds are in their favor to succeed. That is just my opinion, though. Of course, a humble YouTuber who just happens to do this every single day. But you know, he is right when he says this space is still a very high risk space, so anything can happen. So yeah, you know, there's pros and cons with everything you invest in. It's always important to do your own research and make sure you are invested in the thing that you believe in. And speaking of research, crypto_counselor here on Twitter tweeted this out, okay? And I wanted to give a shout out to this guy at CryptoCounselO2 on Twitter. And I know some of these patents have been pointed out in the past, but I just wanted to bring this up again. Okay, so this guy's an IP attorney that follows crypto, XRP, and BTC. My kind of guy. So crypto_counselor posts this here, okay? So this was his first tweet. Decided to conduct a quick patent/application search for items containing Ripple and XRP. Some notable finds for patent application assignees. So what he did was he looked for Ripple and XRP. Hint, hint. Meaning that he's looking for products that will use XRP. And this is what he found. American Express Travel, Finastra USA Corp, Identity Pty Limited, Smart Worldwide Financial Tech, Wells Fargo Bank NA. He continues by saying some of these are known Ripple partners, and then again, running another search with Ripple and Distributed Ledger produced some other results for Bank of America Corp, CME Group, Goldman Sachs Group, IBM, Royal Bank of Canada, and Visa Inc. So guys, this is huge, and Ripple is in deep, and this is the point I'm trying to make here. We tend to forget some of these really, really important partnerships, and you know, even if you know, these companies are not using Ripple Tech and XRP today, the plan for the future, once those regulations are clear, seem very, very apparent to me. I finally saw this as well. Peter Pumpkin Eater on Twitter. That's Peter Pumpkin Eater at Yes, I'll Have Some on Twitter. And this is a great little arcade game graphic here. He has a GIF pointed here with that XRP car, and it's, you know, it's just speeding down the highway, surpassing Ethereum, surpassing BTC. Guys, this is what XRP is. It's the fastest, most efficient digital currency for cross-border transactions. That's why it was created, and it is going to be a quintessential cornerstone for cross-border transactions in the near future. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.